Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. In this video I'm going to take a look at this one. It's a good old Commodore 64. It has already been repaired, but it turned out that the repair was quite easy. So this time it's going to be a little bit shorter video than usual. But I hope you will enjoy it anyway. So let's take a look at what I did. I bought this machine a while back and it was dead, but when I opened it up it was just simply a broken fuse. So I thought that was it, but upon closer inspection and testing of this machine it actually turned out to have a fault still. So that's what I'm trying to figure out today and hopefully fix it too. So it is simply a Commodore C64 and it's not labeled C64C, so I guess this is the longboard version then. It's just a simple serial number here. Commodore C64, made in Western Germany. It might not look like that on the video, but it is quite dirty and all the keys very grimy in between. Something between these strips here as well, so it needs a good cleaning as well. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. If you need to have produced your own PCBs, then just visit PCBWay and you can get an instant quote for your own PCBs produced for as low as $5 for 5 PCBs. They also do other stuff like advanced PCB. They do CNC machining and 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication and prototype PCB assembly, among other things. Also visit their shared project site where you can find a lot of already made PCB designs. So go ahead and visit PCBWay.com and check out their services. So what's the fault then? Well, it turns out when I use the diagnostics cartridge with the harness, it doesn't have any serial data. So let me just quickly hook up the diagnostics cartridge and the harness. Alright then, let's see what we get. Yeah, it's the regular C64 diagnostics cartridge, revision 586220, and apparently the RAM test is okay, and the clocks on the two CIA chips are the same value, so those are good. I mean, I don't know if the CIAs are good, but the clock features for sure is. Yeah, and there you have it. You have serial port and user port bad. And the U2, which is the 6526 chip, the CIA, or one of the two CIAs, is bad. Alright, so I'm just gonna test if that's true. Does the serial, I mean using a floppy disk drive, not work? I'm gonna hook up the SD to IC. If serial data isn't working, then we should not be able to load anything. No, device not present. Nope. Yeah, so that appears to be true then. Just to double check, I hooked up this 1541 clone disk drive, which I already made a video about. You might have seen it just recently. Let's see if there's anything different. Nope, not responding at all. Serial data not working is corresponding with a bad CIA chip, so that's obviously the first thing I'm gonna check. Now if you take a look at the Commodore 64 schematics, here's the serial bus port and its data and clock lines goes down here directly to the U2 6526 CIA. Now why the user port doesn't report good, I'm not sure, but it's probably related to the same thing. So I just need to open up the machine then and check out what's wrong with it. And this is the type that has not screws, it has these clips, so no need for a screwdriver Well, I need a flat iron. Kind of cheap model. Why I have tape here is because I bought a new anti-static mat and it was curled up, so I hold it down for a while. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Well, it is in fact a 250-469, the short board, so it is a regular C64C then. And this is the U2. And I have a spare, so the first thing I'm going to do is just solder out this chip and replace it with a working one. See if that solves the problem. I'm going to clean it up afterwards, but first let's figure out the fault. I think I just toss away this. The back side of the board, it looks fine. I mean, it seems to have been done some soldering here, but that might be from the factory. In fact, a couple of pins on this chip has some flux. I guess they used machines to do most of the soldering, but some things like the RF modulator might have been soldered in by hand and they didn't clean it properly afterwards. Anyway, the chip is here, and just add a little bit of flux and then just use my desoldering iron or station to remove it. And that can be a little bit tricky on some boards. Is it blocked again? Yeah, but not anymore. Yeah, that went okay with the first two. Yeah, that was all the pins desoldered, and you can always hope that it comes loose after the first round, but usually never does. And don't use any force, because then you will rip the pads and the vias if you're unlucky. No, it's not loose, so I go one more round and then I use some wick if I need to. I went through all the pins once more, but still there's one pin that, or one hole that still is blocked, and that usually helps release if you just put some new solder in. Yeah, I think that did the trick. Nope. Well, it's loose on this side now. But on this side, the left side, it's still stuck, and I can actually see there's some solder on some of the pins on this side that didn't clear up, so that's where I used the wick. A little bit of flux, and then the wick to the rescue. Not the wick 20, but the wick. Yeah, that cleared out that hole too, but I think that's okay. Down here it's a little bit tight, close to that capacitor. Oh, and there I burnt myself close to that capacitor. It's not uncommon for me to burn my fingers. I guess it's normal to do that mistake. No, it won't come loose. It's just there, right beside the capacitor, and that's difficult to reach. Well, it seems I missed one pin, this one, so no wonder it didn't come loose. Add a little fresh solder to it. Yes. Yeah, now I think it's clear. Okay, it's out. Finally, was a little bit stubborn after all. Nothing is hanging onto the chip, so that means nothing was ripped. Maybe not necessary, but I like to clean up after the soldering chip, because you remove all the old solder. Just use a little bit of flux and then slide the wick over all the pins, I mean all the holes or vias. And of course I do the same on the other side, but before that, clean off with some IPA. There's a little bit of exposed copper on that edge, just gonna solder it so it won't corrode. Then a new socket. I always start by soldering 2 of the corner pins. And then I push the socket up from underneath because I want it flat with the board. Then the 38 remaining pins. Seems like I'm using a lot of solder, but this is very thin. It's 0.25, so it's very long and thin. Yeah, big ground plane here, it's harder to melt the solder. Yes, that was it. Clean off the flux. So you might think that I'm using an awful lot of solder since I'm replacing chips all the time, but I had this 500 grams roll and it's Stanol leaded, and I had it for years. I'm thinking it's half full still. Okay, then I have a brand new, or I don't know if it's definitely not new, but if it's used or not. 60 by 26, and it looks unused on the pins, but it has a yellow mark, and that indicates it's been in the computer, so it's probably used. And it's an old one, 2384 it says. That's pretty old, but let's see if that fixes our problem. The old chip, it was 8 from 87. I'm just cleaning the ports with some contact cleaner before I test it. They were quite black, and if you want to remove the blackness, you can use a rubber. I have this children's rubber. I learned this trick on YouTube. Yeah, now they're all golden, shiny. Just clean all the ports with some contact cleaner. Yeah, let me hook it up again, see if it works now. Let's see now. For sure, this CIA chip is working somewhat. The clock is okay. Yay! It works! Nice, very nice. I was a little bit unsure about the CIA chip I bought, because you never know what you're gonna get when you buy something on eBay or somewhere, but yeah, apparently this was okay. But I'm not sure until I've seen it loads from disk. Let me just test it quickly. Well, I did forget something, and that was to turn on the floppy disk drive. Yes, look at that. It works, yeah. But does it load completely? I haven't really tested this machine with anything except the diagnostics cartridge. But if this game's working, then I say it's 100% working. Robocop. Yep, that looks good to me. Does it work with a joystick? Yeah, for sure. Well, that was an easy fix, but one more Commodore 64 saved. So only thing now left is to clean this baby up. I'm just gonna clean the motherboard with some IPA and some cotton swabs, and then this keyboard. Yeah, I like to do a proper job of that, and yeah, it's a little bit dirty under the keycaps, so I'll take all of those off and clean them too. So I'll just take off using this key puller tool, very handy. Springs looks very shiny and clean. Well, it turns out a few of them are a little bit corroded, so that need to be sorted out. I usually just put them in some vinegar. Yeah, quite some dust bunnies here. The space bar spring is a little bit bigger than the others, so I put that aside. So now I'm gonna clean all this and clean my fingers as well. Yes, nice. So I cleaned up everything, and yeah, it turns out that the most of the springs has rust on them. So I better soak them in some vinegar then. This is vinegar, 32%, but it's made for cleaning, not food, and it's much cheaper than food grade vinegar. It smells strong, but I heard that if you put a little cup of vinegar in a room, it will clean the air and kill bacteria in the room. I'm not sure if that's true. Yeah, I see a little bubbling. Yes, now we have a good reaction. I don't know the chemistry behind this, but it seems to remove rust. I'm not sure if that's the best method. However, it does turn the metal dark, grayish, but that doesn't do anything. I clean them off afterwards with some WD-40. So I think I'll leave those for half an hour and then I check. The motherboard has been cleaned up and it looks like new now, and I'm just gonna install a couple of heat sinks on the most important chips, like the VIC-2 and the CPU and the SID. That might help them to run a little bit cooler. Yes, the keyboard cleaned up very nicely. A couple of spots. So I tested the keys and they work very well, so no need to take off the back plate and do any work there. Yeah, and the springs, they look alright now. I cannot see rust anywhere. And yeah, as I said, they got a little bit grey, but that's okay. Yes, I think that was it. Just gonna assemble this machine and we're done, I think. Yes, the machine is finished, and what a difference. It looks absolutely like new now, I think. Working fully. Very nice. Just as a final test, the Kung Fu Flash cartridge. See that it works. Yeah, it does. This is a demo. Alright, another Commodore 64 saved from e-waste, and now I'm gonna sell this machine. Hopefully I can get some back for my work. Anyway, just want to say thanks for watching, and special thanks to my patrons. If you didn't subscribe already, then I hope you will. Thanks a lot, see you.